Julie Maher is the greatest example for me personally, and I think that many people can attest to this, of the Lasallian statement, touching hearts. She touched the hearts of thousands of young men, and the impact that she made on them, that she would remember them, that she would, even at alumni events, she would go up and hug them and talk to them and ask them about things that she had remembered from so many years prior to that. That's what we do here. That's what makes LaSalle such a unique place, such a special place, and she was a prime example of that.
So it's really hard to measure Julie's impact because it's really so widespread. You know, the path that she took some students on, either they were going on a path of mediocrity, maybe even failure, and really turned them into a path of success is her story. And the way that she directed people, her playful honesty, that she really made sure that you, A, knew she was in your corner, but also never let an opportunity pass to make it a learning experience.
She was probably the most supportive person that I really interacted with here at LaSalle. And that extended beyond just student council too. You could talk to her about anything. Even within campus ministry and Kairos, if Mrs. Maher was involved, it just made me all the more excited to also be involved.
You know, I think what my mother has meant in her years of service to LaSalle has been several things. I think she was a pioneer here. I remember when my mother first got hired to LaSalle and several years later became the first female administrator at this school. And I think that was, you know, being a pioneer in administration for the school. I think she's also, over the years, one of the biggest values she's added to the school has truly been as a servant leader, as somebody who has provided leadership to the school and has kind of walked the walk and talked the talk as she was here.
You know, I think it was such a different experience for me and John. You know, as your mother was a teacher. You know, I think once we left, you know, I think she really then came into her own and found her way. And you know, our father passed in the early 2000s, and I don't know if that had anything to do with, you know, her evolution of what she became, but you know, she really took on the role and embraced the role of becoming a spiritual, you know, advisor, and you know, that Kairos program that I think she was very instrumental with. You know, I think that really became her, and I think will be her legacy of you know, away from being an educator and an administrator. Just her ability to, you know, to find kids, put them in, and take them out of their comfort zones.
So, LaSalle motto, enter to learn, leave to serve, should just represent Julie Maher. And she is the top person at that. She continues on this mission, as I said, volunteering in the David Center and serving students who otherwise, you know, may struggle, their grades may not be as good. Nothing is too much to ask for Julie, and she still comes every day to learn and serve, and we're just so grateful to have her.
Well, as you come up the driveway, you see the sign that says enter to learn and leave to serve, and I would say that Julie, Mrs. Maher, encapsulates that statement. She drove up the driveway in 1983 when I first met her, so that's nearly 40 years ago, and she learned very, very quickly what it means to be a Lasallian educator, what it means to be an ambassador of Jesus Christ, as St. LaSalle told his disciples, to their students. And she has done that marvelously. She doesn't necessarily leave to serve. She stays here as well as leaves to serve. She serves in a great capacity as a mentor, as a teacher, as an administrator, and she does that all with the compassion and the docility of a true Lasallian educator.
I think there's different, you talk to people of all types of classes over the years, and they all have a Mrs. Maher story, or how she kind of helped mold them into the men they've become. So I think that, the way she worked as an educator or as an administrator, in our time involved with student council, just, really saw the best in you, and just wanted to help you succeed. And I think that in itself kind of embodies her. If she just wanted everybody to do the best they could and, be themselves while they're doing it.
So the thing about Julie is that she's always really downplayed her role. But the fact is that she was mom. She was Queen Bee. And no one can really take that away from her.
To include her in that class, that she then lives on with that class, was, I think, just so incredibly important. It was a statement to say that this person has forever transformed LaSalle, and it echoes and it lives beyond that. I think in that moment, you just felt and you just saw that her being coming forward and being recognized in that way, that's just the epitome. The epitome of what she is to LaSalle is really in that moment.